Good morning. I'm Mickie with YMCA of East Tennessee, and I'm going to do a little yoga today for those of you who are stuck at home and maybe missing your yoga classes. So I'm going to keep it pretty basic because, some of us may have not been exercising as much for the last week or two. Maybe we need to move into it a little slowly. Of course, as always in a yoga class, you just go to your own level. You want to stay, you don't want to go into a painful place with yoga. You want to stop at the edge of that. You can challenge yourself without injuring yourself. So just take care and honor your own body, and let's enjoy some yoga today. Also, let's enjoy this sunshine finally. Anyhow, I always like to begin in Shavasana. So let's just find Shavasana on our mat, and let's begin to find our breath. So lay back, take a deep breath. Let your palms be up. Maybe your shoulder blades are slightly tucked. Let your feet just fall away from each other, and take a few moments just to breathe. Take deep, full inhales, long, slow exhales. Try to let go of your cares and bring your mind and your body to the mat. As you breathe, focus on taking a little mental break as well as a physical break today. After the next exhale, let's inhale the knees up. So the feet are up next to the bottom. Then let's step them out just a little wider than the hips. Then let's move the arms out to T, so you reach to the walls beside you. Let's take the chin to the right shoulder. Keep the feet in place as you breathe and relax your knees down to the left. Just let your knees go to the left, then breathe into that stretch in the front of the right thigh. Just breathe into that stretch. Just let gravity and your breath take your knees down to your limit. After the next exhale, inhale the knees up. Adjust if you need to, so your heels are just a little wider than your hips, but up next to your bottom. This time your chin comes to the left shoulder. Keep your feet in place as you breathe and relax the knees down to the right. So this time you're breathing into that stretch in the front of the left thigh. Just breathe into it. Relax the knees down. After the exhale, inhale up. Now let's flow with the breath. So the feet stay a little wider than hip distance, and the chin goes the opposite way from the knees. Exhale down. Inhale up. Flow from side to side with your cycle of breath. inhale up, just notice how your spine flattens into the mat. Finish the cycle you're on. Your knees are next to the right. Inhale up, and let's go ahead and step the heels in to just about hip distance apart. So the heels are still up next to the bottom. The arms are reaching out to the walls beside you in T. Now let's bring the right ankle to the left knee. So flex the right foot, let that right knee press away from the torso. Just use your own muscles to do that. Then reach through that window with your right hand. So if you can grab the front of that left knee, that's fine. Or you can grab the back of that left thigh. Or you can even use a strap if you need to. So inhale back, flatten your spine into the mat. Then breathe into that stretch. You want to be able to flatten the spine, so wherever you're grabbing, make sure you can flatten your spine and straighten your neck with your spine on the mat. And you should feel a good stretch in the right hip. So breathe into that stretch. Let's take a few breaths. After the next inhale, exhale, crunch forward, rise as high as you can, press all the air out of your lungs, then inhale back, flow with your breath. Exhale, crunch forward, inhale back. Continue to flow with your cycle of breath. Inhale back, release that left knee or thigh, whatever you have a hold of. Now let's press that right heel toward the ceiling. So straighten the right leg and use your hands to support your right leg, and then just let your left leg go long down the mat. So take a couple of breaths, flex your foot, straighten your right leg. Now let's climb the right leg. So your shoulders come up off the mat. Point the toe as you exhale. Flex the foot as you inhale. Flow with your breath. Notice what a nice stretch you get in that right leg. Release back down to the mat. And as you do, let's draw that right knee into the right armpit. Draw it in nice and close. Bring it outside the rib cage. Hook your right arm over. So you've got a good tight grip. Your left hand can be down near your ankle. And then let's rotate that right ankle. First in one direction. And then let's reverse that ankle rotation. And return to Shavasana. Take a breath. Scan your body. Does the right side feel different from the left? After the next exhale, inhale the knees up Again, bring the feet up next to the bottom. This time they're just hip distance apart. So this time let's bring the left ankle to the right knee. So flex the left foot, use your own muscles to let that left knee press toward the wall below you. Then let's reach through the window with the left hand this time. Again, grab either the front of that right knee, the back of your right thigh, or if you can't reach either, just use your strap. Find your place where you can inhale back, flatten your spine into the mat, and breathe into that stretch in the left hip. Just breathe into it. Make any adjustments that feel good for your body. Of course, if it's not a good stretch, you can always pull that right knee in closer until you feel a good stretch. At the same time, keep your left foot flexed and your left knee pressing away from your torso. Keep that left leg active. After the next inhale, exhale, crunch forward, rise as high as you can. Inhale back, flow with your breath. Exhale forward, inhale back. Inhale back. This time release that right knee. As you do, go ahead and pull that left knee into the left armpit. Bring it outside the rib cage, hook the left arm over it, and extend the right leg long down the mat. And then let's rotate the left ankle. First in one direction, snapping and crackling. And reverse. Continue to breathe deeply throughout your practice. Now let's press that left heel toward the ceiling, straighten the left leg. So the right heel continues to press down into the mat. Use your arms to support that left leg. Take a couple of breaths as you let it straighten with your foot flexed. Now let's climb this left leg. Point the toe as you exhale. Flex the foot as you inhale. Flow with your breath. Release, return to Shavasana. I think we did the same exercises, but in a slightly different order from the right to the left. Now let's go ahead and hug the knees in towards the chest. Hug them in nice and tight. Start out with your head on the mat and just rock your hips from side to side. Sort of give your low back a little massage. Then let's bring the head forward. So we give the mid back a little massage. So we rock from side to side. Release. Then let's begin to kick and rock from front to back. Just try and make a nice smooth rocker with your body. Used to do this when you were a kid, maybe. The next time we rock up, let's come to boat pose. So find your balance. Straighten your spine, take your chin. You can leave your hands behind your knees to begin with if you'd like. You can leave them there throughout the whole boat pose. This is the little boat, so your feet are flexed. And if you have your balance and it feels okay, then just reach your fingertips forward. Give yourself a little bit more challenge. Continue to breathe deeply. And if you'd like a little more challenge, straighten your legs. Try to keep everything else in place and straighten your legs. Continue to breathe deeply wherever you are. And then let's just relax on down to easy pose. So find a comfortable seat. I'm going to turn to face you now. So just a comfortable cross-legged sitting position. Straighten the spine, tuck the chin. Just imagine you want one vertebra stacked on top of the other. Breathe deeply. Now let's take the right thumb, trace the spine. Your palm presses down with the fingers pointing away. That arm keeps your spine tall and straight. Left arm comes up. Now let's revolve to look over that right shoulder. Take your chin to the right shoulder. Gaze over that right shoulder and breathe deeply. Maintain the twist and slowly bring your chin to the left shoulder. Gaze over the left shoulder. Release. I always like to wiggle my fingers and rotate my wrists. Then let's recross the legs. Again, find a comfortable seat. Tuck the chin, straighten the spine. Then let's take the left thumb, trace the spine, palm presses down. Right arm comes up. Let's revolve to look over the left shoulder this time. Gaze over the left shoulder as you breathe deeply and let your breath relax you deeper into the twist. Maintain the twist and slowly bring the chin to the right shoulder this time. Gaze over your right shoulder as you continue to breathe deeply. Release. Once again, wiggle those fingers, rotate those wrists. And then let's come to the table. So in the table, you want your wrists under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. Spread your fingers wide. Let your spine be in neutral so your gaze is out towards the front edge of your mat, or maybe a little farther depending on where you are on the mat. So you just want a neutral spine. Let's start out like that, and let's take a few deep breaths. Inhale deeply, and then on the exhales, try to draw your belly button into your spine as you actively press the air out of your lungs. After the next inhale, exhale into cat. So the spine bows toward the ceiling. The gaze is between the knees. The arms are straight. The back is stretched and the abs are flexed. Let's just take a couple of breaths here in cat. Then let's move into cow. So now the spine bows toward the floor. The gaze comes up toward the ceiling. You may tuck your toes. Pull back into the palms and breathe deeply. Now let's exhale into cat. Inhale into cow. Flow with your breath. As you move from cat to cow, focus on the rotation of your pelvis. Return to the table. Press up through the palms, straighten the spine. Just in neutral. Then let's slide the fingertips 5 or 6 inches forward. Tuck the toes and press up to downward dog. Now, as you press up to downward dog, maybe pedal your heels a couple of times as you walk them in. You want your feet to be about hip distance or just slightly more than hip distance. Your hands are about shoulder distance. Then once you pedal your heels a few times, press back through your palms. Actively lengthen your neck. Imagine you're a turtle poking your head out of the shell. Lengthen your neck as you press the shoulders back. Then try to relax the heels down toward the mat. Don't force them down. Just relax them down. It's okay if you have a little bend in your knees. You want to keep your knees comfortable. Then let's just take a few breaths as we relax. Let the head hang. Relax into downward dog. Now let's bring the gaze toward the thumbs and walk the feet towards the hands. So just walk into a forward fold. When you reach the forward fold, just maybe reach up and grab opposite elbows and just let your head and torso relax down to the mat. So just breathe and relax, and then maybe focus on straightening your legs a little bit. But mainly just relax into the forward fold. Very stress relieving forward fold. Now let's begin to slowly roll up from the hips, one vertebra at a time. Just roll up, let the head be the last thing to come up, and then let's come to the mountain. So you want your feet well grounded. Check them, make sure they're just about hip distance apart. Shoulders back, palms face forward. I always like to do a little balance. I think breathing and balance are two things that you really benefit from in yoga. So a little exercise for your breathing, a little exercise for your balance. So find your balance, press down into your feet. Take a few deep breaths. You can lower your gaze, or if your balance allows, you can close your eyes. And then let's just gently sway from side to side. Just shift the weight from the outside of one foot to the outside of the other foot. Return to the mountain. Turn towards the front. Again, your feet are just about hip distance apart. Ground down into your feet. Tuck your tailbone, tuck your chin, shoulders back, palms forward. A nice, strong mountain pose. Now, once again, either lower the gaze or close your eyes, whatever gives your balance a challenge, and begin to gently sway from front to back. Just rock a little bit from toes to heels. Don't fall down, but challenge yourself. If you can do it with your eyes closed, or if you can just do it with a lowered gaze. If you have difficulty doing it at all, maybe you need to get towards a wall or a chair. Good practice for the balance. Return to the mountain at the top of your mat. Inhale, reach up, palms face, a little back bend, upward salute, fold, forward fold. Come halfway up, press your hands into your thighs, lengthen your spine, take a breath, fold, plant your hands. Let's step all the way back to plank. So in plank, you want a straight line from your shoulders to your heels. So if your bottom is poking up, you want to lower it down right in line with the rest of your straight line, your body. You don't want it sinking down, you don't want it poking up. You just want a strong straight line. Press back into your flexed feet. That'll help you make a straight line. Look up, take a breath. If it's too much to hold, you can always modify by dropping your knees gently to the mat. If you're going to modify, drop your knees to the mat now. Chaturanga, upward dog or cobra. Turn your toes, downward dog. Walk your heels a couple of times, then press back through the palms. Find that upside down dog, that upside down V. Take a couple of breaths. Bring the gaze forward toward your thumbs. Walk forward. Forward fold. Pause. Let the head and torso hang for a breath. And reverse swan dive to a standing prayer. Inhale, reach up, palms face, a little back bend, upward salute, fold, forward fold, halfway up, lengthen, take a breath, fold, plant your hands, step back to plank. Once again, get that straight line And if you're going to modify for your chaturanga, you just drop your knees to the mat. Chaturanga, upward dog, or cobra. You'd be doing cobra if you modified. Downward dog. Bring your gaze forward, walk forward, forward fold, reverse swan dive to a standing prayer. And return to the mountain. Upward salute. I always like my little back bend. Return to upward salute. Fold, forward fold. Halfway up. Take a breath, fold, plant your hands, step back to plank. There's lots of different things you can do in plank, but since we're limited for time today, I'm just going to do another sun salute. Drop your knees if you're going to modify. Chaturanga, upward dog or cobra, downward dog. Let's pause here for a couple of breaths. Bring your gaze forward toward your thumbs. Walk forward, forward fold. Again, let's pause for a couple of breaths. And reverse swan dive to a standing prayer. And return to the mountain. One more sun salute. Inhale up, palms face, a little back bend, upward salute, fold, forward fold, halfway up, fold, plant your hands, step back to plank. Modify if you're going to. Chaturanga, upward dog or cobra. Downward dog. Let's stay in downward dog for a few breaths. Press back through your palms. Lengthen your neck. Try to evenly distribute the weight between your hands and your feet. And notice if your downward dog feels different, better or worse now than it did in the beginning. Hopefully it feels a little better. Now let's bring the gaze toward the thumb. Walk forward, forward fold, reverse swan dive to a standing prayer. Inhale, reach up, palms face, a little back bend, upward salute, fold, forward fold, come halfway up. Take a breath, fold, plant your hands. This time let's just step back to downward dog. So we're going to step back to downward dog. Press through the palms, find that upside down V. Take a couple of breaths. And from here, let's lower the knees down to the mat. Just go ahead and bring them about mat distance apart as you bring them down. Bring your toes together. Let your bottom go back towards your heels. Slide your fingertips forward. And let's find a nice, comfortable, extended child's pose. Maybe if your sinuses need a little massage, rock your head back and forth on your mat. Slide the palms back underneath the shoulders. Press back up. Let's return to the table. Make sure your knees are under your hips, your wrists are under your shoulders, and your fingers are spread wide. Let's shift the weight to the left hand, and then let's reach those right fingertips forward. You want to keep your body still, but reach with your arm like you're trying to reach the wall in front of you. Your gaze can be forward, or it can be down at the mat, but your neck should be fairly in neutral, so probably down at the mat's better. Then let's shift the weight from the hips onto the right knee and press back with the left foot. So reach in opposite directions, breathe deeply and balance. Keep your tailbone tucked. You don't want to arch your back. So tuck your tailbone. As you reach, try to form a straight line from your fingertip to your toes or your heel. You can press your heel back, you can press your toe back. Just breathe and balance. Reaching in opposite directions helps with the balance. Let's do a few active cats. Exhale, bring your elbow and your knee together. Inhale, reach it back out. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, reach. Flow with your breath. After the next reach, return to the table. Okay, had a little pause there, but now we're going to do the other side. So back to the table. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Fingers spread wide. This time we're going to inhale the left arm forward, reach toward the wall in front of you. Inhale the right leg back, reach towards the wall behind you with your heel or your toe. Reach and breathe and balance. After the next inhale, exhale, bring the elbow and the knee together. Inhale, reach it back out. Flow with your breath. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, reach. After the next reach, return to the table. Now let's bring the knees about mat distance apart. Press the hips back towards the heels. Slide the fingertips forward. Extended child's pose. Slide the palms back under the shoulders, press back up, and let's transition to our backs. Find Shavasana, take a couple of breaths. Once again, let's inhale the knees up, heels up next to the bottom. Bring the arms out to T. So the arms reach out towards the walls beside you. Then let's bring the soles of the feet up so they face the wall below you. The knees are stacked, the arms are reaching. Bring your chin to the right shoulder. And then slowly and gently breathe your knees down to the left. Keep them stacked. Keep your shoulders grounded. Just slowly breathe them down. Just let your breath and gravity take them to their limit. After the exhale, inhale up. Make any adjustments you need to. Your knees are stacked, your feet face the wall below you. Reach out to the sides with your arms. This time your chin comes to the left shoulder. Breathe and relax the stacked knees down to the right. Again, keep those shoulders on the mat. You just breathe and relax your knees down to your limit. After the next exhale, inhale up. Now let's flow with the breath. The chin goes the opposite way from the knees. Inhale up, exhale down. Just flow from side to side with your cycle of breath. You can always make this a little more difficult by straightening your legs. Not necessary. Finish on the right. Inhale up. And let's return to Shavasana. Take a breath. Let your feet be about mat distance apart. Just let them fall away from each other. Maybe gently rock your calves from side to side. And then just let gravity bring them to a stop. Make sure your palms are up at least a foot from your hips. So slightly tuck your shoulder blades and lengthen your neck. And then swallow to release your throat. And relax your jaw and your tongue. Close your eyes. And just let your eyes feel heavy in the sockets. Make sure your forehead is relaxed and your jaw. And just let that relaxation flow down through the shoulders, the arms. Let your body feel heavy on your mat. Observe your breath, but don't force it. If thoughts start to come to mind, just observe the thoughts and let them pass. If you're at home and you want to stay in Shavasana longer, just feel free to reach up and stop the video and just stay in Shavasana as long as you like. Otherwise, begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Maybe rotate your wrists and your ankles. And then let's roll over onto the right side in a comfortable fetal position and continue conscious relaxation. Now let's go ahead and press up to seated. Come to easy pose. Just take a moment to be grateful for your practice today. Hopefully for a strong, healthy body that you're trying to make stronger and more healthy. Let's come to prayer. After the inhale, namaste. Thank you. Enjoy your day.